Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we have another skin tint video, and this time it is by Bobbi Brown. This is the Bobbi Brown Hydrating Skin Tint SPF 15. We're going to talk all about it, and though I have it newly applied here, later on in the video you're going to see a wear test for as long as I can possibly stretch it today. Well, you know, I love tradition, and we have a lot of inside jokes and inside traditions, and I keep forgetting to do my confetti and party horns when it's a complexion product. So there you go. You guys noticed I forgot, didn't you? But I didn't forget today. This is, oh boy, we're going to compare this. Stick around after the wear test. I'm going to talk about who should buy this, and we're going to talk a little bit about it in comparison to some other new skin tints like Hourglass and Danessa Myricks Yummy and all that sort of stuff, even Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer. So we got a lot to talk about. Now, this one is going to solve a few different needs and a few different concerns that I saw come up in both my, speaking of, Danessa Myricks reviews and in the Hourglass Veil Hydrating Skin Tint that I just reviewed the other day. This is $46 and comes in 18 shades. And remember, when you have a skin tint, they are generally very stretchy. So 18 shades might as well be like 36 to 40. So it's going to cover a lot. I went ahead and got shade light 3. I am wearing it now. I did pretty well. If I didn't say it is $46. This one is extremely thin. I want to say runny, but that sounds negative. I don't mean it that way. Extremely thin, and this one has, in this tint is an SPF 15, which some people love and some people hate, but it is in there. Why do some people love it? Because some of you are going to use this maybe even as a primer under a heavier, or I should say more fuller coverage, I should say foundation, and you like that little bit of extra SPF. This has a natural finish, which I think you can see. Light coverage, I'm going to say very light coverage, and even has some vitamin C and other skin care ingredients in it. Let me just show you what I mean. I will shake this up a few times. It's very viscous, means runny. And I'm going to put a little bit onto my hand just to show you. Look at how it drips out of there. And though the shade is similar to my skin tone, so you won't see it too well, it's just going to drip, 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 drip. And I made a little bit of a mess when I was doing the demo, which you'll see in a moment. I didn't expect it to be this thin, but that makes it have extremely light coverage, and it has almost a watery texture. Again, that sounds so negative. I don't mean it that way, but a lot of you were saying you did not like that the Hourglass is the opposite. I had quite a few comments on my Hourglass video that you guys felt it was a little bit too kind of thick. Well, this one might be for you. And somebody even said to me, Quincy, was it you? I think it was community member Quincy, that she liked it with SPF and she wanted it thinner. I think that was you, Quincy. Well, this would answer your prayers, that's for sure. But many of you had comments like that. So I have just applied it, but we're going to go back in time to the demo. And then later on, we are going to show you how, I'm curious myself, how this wears and who this would be a good buy for. So stay right there. Okay, this is the shade Light 3. I have high hopes, but I'm nervous because, oh, when you guys ask me the difference among skin tints, well, we got a lot of good products out there. So right now I do have a little bit of color corrector on my dark pits of despair. If you're new to this channel, that's the area right in there. And I have a little bit over some blemishes because this is not about covering blemishes. It's going to be light coverage. And I gotta put the cap back on actually because it needs a kind of a good shake. And this is a little bit more fluid than some of the others. I haven't even tried a little sneaky swipe on the side of my face. I usually do to see if I'm going to come on camera and embarrass myself or not. You're not going to get this kind of sound. Listen. You're not going to get that kind of sound out of the Hourglass. I have, who was it in my comments on the Hourglass skin tint said, oh, I don't like these new skin tints that feel a little thick. So this is going to be thinner. Almost like, yeah, oh yeah, it's a lot thinner. It comes out a lot thinner and definitely needed shaking up. You should shake them all up really, but this one really needed it. Okay, let's see how we did on the shade. We'll do one side of the face first. Little light maybe, nothing a bronzer can't fix. I do have a brush here. This is the Sonia G Fusion brush. It's what I'd like to use for any sort of foundation product. And actually, being stretchy, I think we're going to do fine. This is, I can tell you that we can build this, but I'll tell you already, This is, as it says, very light coverage. When I did my Hourglass new skin tint, the Veil Hydrating Skin Tint, a lot of you were mistaken in comments. I got that shade match so perfect that it actually looked like light coverage. This actually is very light coverage. This to me is kind of giving tint and moisturizer a little bit. And I'm going to try to build it just to see. I'm making quite the mess here. Okay. I'm going to build it just to see. And it came out, it's so liquidy, viscous, that it came out, a lot of it on my hand. I have a lot to use, but a little goes a long way. Very pretty, but very light coverage and very thin. Now, some of you might enjoy this because a lot of people like to use this almost as a primer, and they like that little bit of SPF in it, because it kind of feels like a little bit more SPF in a primer. Nothing wrong with that. Of course, this is SPF 15, and I'm not going to tell you anything you don't know, but in order to get the actual SPF out of a product, you have to put so much of it on that you'd be doing like a Meredith, you know, that Meredith D lady from TikTok who covers her face in product. You'd almost have to be doing that to get the full amount of SPF, but I suppose a little bit of help doesn't hurt. I still have it. This is very watery. I hate to say watery. It sounds so negative. Very thin, very fluid. How about that? That doesn't sound so negative, because I don't mean it negatively. And I think the shade was a tad bit light, but it's so thin that it's actually quite pretty. A little bit sticky right now. I'm able to take all the comments that you guys give me on my other skin tint videos and answer those questions preemptively now. A little bit sticky, not going to powder it or put a ton of concealer on today because I just want to do a wear test. I have some other things I'm filming today. So I'm going to do a wear test and then let's see how sticky it stays. You're welcome to powder it, of course, and Bobbi Brown does have a powder, like I think I said, that goes with this. But we're just going to wear it like it is. See if this is not bothering me. It feels very tinted moisturizer. It feels like I have a moisturizer on my face. The way your skin feels in the morning when you moisturize, that's what I mean by sticky. But we'll see if that calms down or goes away. Now, in a moment, you're going to see me again, and that will be our wear test. I'm going to try to wear it as long as I possibly can today. When you saw me in the intro, that was freshly applied. So let's go ahead and wear it for as long as I can, and we'll do the wear test right now. Okay, it's been 6 hours. That's our wear test for today. That's what I have time for. Let me just be real transparent. I have reapplied a Givenchy lipstick that I have on. I have touched nothing else. We did a blush review today, so the blush was heavy enough. It wasn't going anywhere, let me tell you. All right, I have started to not even wear concealer when I'm testing a skin tint or a foundation. I do put some color corrector on underneath, but I have stopped because it's impossible to tell if it's the concealer that's going into lines or the skin tint or foundation. So we're not going to have that trouble, okay? So let's take a look. It's been 6 hours. I'm going to look specifically at under the eyes, around the nose, because for me that's where things crease, and pores. I don't have textured skin, but I do have enlarged pores. So let's take a look here. Looking good under the eyes. I probably needed some concealer. Okay, but it's not sinking into anything here. A little bit. I could do this here maybe a little bit, and it will fix. That's the usual. I'm sniffly. That's normal. I can see my pores here, but they are not enlarged. You know, some skin tints, especially when they have the consistency of a tinted moisturizer, they can sometimes like go into pores and kind of almost hollow them out. We're not having anything like that here. Here on the chin, I can see where I would benefit from concealer, but that's not the fault of a super lightweight skin tint. Looking actually really, really nice after 6 hours. And I don't really, other than a lot of blush right here, I really don't have anything else on my face. It's all the skin tint. I think it's looking quite pretty. I have been telling you guys with my skin tint reviews, be it the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Tint, which I absolutely love, the Hourglass, which I absolutely love and kind of lucked out on the shade choice, so I'm kind of obsessed with it. This is a very, very good one. It's splitting hairs. People ask me in the comments all the time, Rebecca, what's your favorite one, you know, of the newer? It's a tough question to answer because it goes a lot of times along brand and personal preference. If you trust the Bobbi Brown brand, you will love this product. It's very pretty. Now, of the, if we look at the ones people are asking me a lot about are Hourglass and Danessa Myricks, two products I adore. This is the lightest in terms of thinness of the three. This is pretty watery. Again, let me do this for you by the microphone. You're not going to really get that noise unless you shake a lot harder than I'm able to shake with the Danessa product or the Hourglass product. This is the thinnest. This is going to, when I put it on my hand, it's going to run down and it would run all the way here. Again, the Danessa Myricks product and the Hourglass really won't do that unless you left your arm up a long time. So this one is kind of our lightest weight, our most watery, and the lightest amount of coverage. So this would be a definite true light coverage. Whereas the Danessa Myricks is a light medium and the Hourglass even, I don't want to say medium light coverage, you know, the most coverage of the three, if we're just looking at those three. But, you know, I'm happy to answer any other questions. I'm not trying to preempt questions. I'm happy to chat with you guys and talk about them, but I'm just kind of trying to think what you might want to know. And if you have a brand loyalty, you'll love this. If you like the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer, I think this is better. I'm not a huge fan of the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizers. To be honest, they bore me a little bit. This is a lot better than that. I think it's actually evening out my skin tone and looking really pretty, but it's very light coverage. There's no doubt. Lasting really pretty, looking really nice. If you are interested in this product, I do not think you'd be disappointed by it unless you want a lot of coverage. Definitely a tint. And remember, it's got that SPF in here, very gentle SPF, but you know, I suppose that can't hurt. When SPF products get a little older, they'll often make me break out. So they make me a little nervous, but you know, see what you guys think. It's all personal preference. But let me know any other questions you have and, you know, weigh in with your thoughts as well. It's what makes us a community. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. Hey, if you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe to this channel so we can continue to grow. And come say a big hello over on Instagram, TikTok, and now Threads. Plus, you can become a bigger part of this community by becoming a channel member here on YouTube for behind-the-scenes content and super gossipy weekly lives. But in any way that you choose to spend any of your time here, I'm super grateful for it, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.